Action.
Welcome back. I'm Kyle.
Welcome back. Where did we come from? Where did we go? Where did we go from? God,
Hello.
Hello.
We are roaming rivers. That's Kaylin. I'm Kyle. That's Cupcake.
My name's Kaylin.
I'm Kyle. That's Cupcake. And we are roaming rivers.
Come here. Come here. Come on.
This is our bus cascade.
Come on. No, come here. No, you Okay.
Let's start this over again.
No! Kate's saying hi now. I did hi. Okay. Hi, friends. Hi.
She's busy chasing lizards and doesn't want to be in the video.
Go get the lizard. All right.
We're coming at ya with Q&A.
We're going to do this right quick because, somebody...
We just like to be quick. Quickies.
Somebody doesn't want to edit things. So, yeah, and we just want to, get straight to the point and finally put this out there so we can answer your questions.
So how often do we go shopping for food?
Well, that's a boring one, and I wasn't going to start with that, but since you asked, we go about 2 times a week. Once for the big haul, and then occasionally we'll forget something, so we'll go again. Sometimes we'll go just to go to the bathroom. Okay. And, what's something that we thought that we would need, but we don't?
We really haven't had anything that we didn't need. Everything we brought, we've used for the most. One thing. Trekking poles. Stupid thing. Although that's a lie, because we've used it to hold up the bed.
You use it every time to hold up the bed, so it's come in handy.
Okay, we needed 1 trekking pole, not 4.
Also, we haven't really been anywhere that's, we haven't been able to really hike that much. We've been in Florida for 2 months where there's no elevation gain.
Okay, so what do you think is something we could live without?
Well, I don't know. I think that we've used everything that we've brought, really. We've even got some more stuff that we've accumulated some stuff that we've needed. Yeah. Your turn. If we're itching a lot, it's because the no-see-ums are eating us.
How did you transition from house to schoolie?
Okay. Well, it was a 2-year process, so it wasn't just overnight. It was a long process. We had a lot of time to sell our things and get in the mindset of we're gonna live really minimally. So it was pretty. I don't want to say easy, but it was a slow enough transition that we were able to do it. You never help me out here.
I don't know what word you're looking for there, or what you were going. Basically, we were able to. It was a slow progression. We didn't have to just all of a sudden dump all of our stuff right away. We were able to pick stuff that maybe we weren't using for all the time, and slowly sell stuff off. So
yeah, the first year we got rid of most of our furniture. And then the second year, we slowly started selling things off. And then at the end, we realized that we didn't need anything. So we just sold the rest of our belongings. Yeah, because I think you just have to get in the mindset that, we would rather live in this with barely anything than in a house with a whole bunch of shit that we don't need.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
Oh, you did write it down. Is there a specific place that we want to see in a specific season?
Mine is going to be the Rocky Mountains in winter, specifically probably Denver. Just because I've always wanted to go there for snowboarding and stuff.
I mean, I feel like a lot of things. I want to see the Northeast in fall. I want to see like the desert and, like Joshua Tree and the Red Rock area in spring. I also want to see like Wyoming in spring and fall
and winter.
and winter. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different places I think we want to see in all stages of the year. But right now, um, you know, we're loving Key Largo in spring.
Quarantine in Key Largo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my turn. How much securing do you guys have to do when you decide to move your camp?
We're actually going to do a video about this. We probably would have done it already, but we haven't moved the bus in about 2 months. So,
we throw a lot of stuff into the sink.
Yeah, like a lot of the
Berkey, the plants, our water bottles a lot of the time that are sitting out, that sort of stuff. But
we really wanted it to be so that everything had its place, because that makes our minds clear, and yeah, that's important when you live in a very small space.
Mm-hmm.
Was it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, so do we find it hard to... I'm going to say this for not just a camp spot, but like, do we find it hard to find parking with our size vehicle?
I would say, yes and no. You're in big cities, it's going to be harder to park bigger vehicles. Obviously, the easiest parking for us would be parallel parking in the sense of just being able to pull in to those versus being in a parking lot. But, for the most part, you can find parking no matter where you're at. It's just if you feel comfortable and safe where you're at, and sometimes you kind of risk it to see if you'll get a ticket, but...
Okay, let's elaborate though and say that, sometimes when we're in the city, we've taken up 2 parking spots, like on a side street, and just paid for both spots, and that's worked fine for us. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like hard to find parking. It's not as easy as if you were in a car, but I also wouldn't say that it's as hard as if you're in a full-size school bus.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Just like our length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And camp spots, no.
Yeah, you can find camp spots really anywhere.
Yeah, we fit into any of the national park camp spots that we've been to. Your turn.
How come we went with a pee-only toilet?
Well, you see here, it's not technically a pee-only toilet. If we really needed to, we could poop in it just like you could poop in a bucket. But that's the thing, is if you poop in a bucket, you have to clean it out. So, it's like we don't have a composting toilet. It's not just gonna like...
mix up and smell
it's
like
not
coconut
gonna
shavings.
Compost itself with all... Yeah, we would literally be like cleaning poop out of a bucket. So we choose not to do that, and we choose to just go pee in there.
It's for emergencies only, and whoever uses it for an emergency has to clean it. That's our agreement.
Which we haven't yet
Neither
had.
Yeah.
So
thank you, all
thanks
grocery
for asking.
stores, gas stations, and everything else.
How did we find someone to make our vision a reality? Do we own land? Those are 2 different questions, but let's
first
start
one.
with
How do we find someone to make our vision a reality? Well, I married her and she married him.
She married you.
She married him. I married you.
Whatever. I visualized it. He built it. So
we both visualized a little bit of the area. Let's just. She did the aesthetic stuff, but like having to figure out how to build a.
Is that the children?
I think so.
Okay.
Specific types of, a pull-out couch and stuff like that. It's just like we envisioned what we wanted to look like and what we wanted to incorporate in it, and it was more so like I had to figure out how to engineer it or reverse engineer it off of pictures that other people had posted. So And then the second question, or part of that question was, did you have land?
Do we own land?
Do we own land? We owned a house. We did the whole conversion in our driveway except for the paint job, which we did at a friend's shop. Other than that, it was our bus is, again, the perfect size to where it fit into our driveway just perfectly.
We did the insulation in the shop too.
Oh, insulation in the shop. But that was because it was winter. We could have done it in our driveway. But everything was done in our driveway. So really, if you don't live in a place where there's an HOA, you could get away with it.
Yeah, okay.
My question.
Your turn.
What's your biggest struggle? We're talking
well,
in life or bus?
Currently, it's these no-see-ums that are eating me alive. Yeah. Biggest struggle in the bus.
Or you could just be about, living minimal life.
I would say probably, honestly, the biggest struggle for me is the bathroom situation, because it's like I'm willing to deal with that to live this lifestyle, but don't get me wrong, it's a pain in the ass to, no pun intended, to have to either plan out your parking spot so that you have a facility in the morning, or you have to go and then you have to ride your bike 10-15 minutes to the nearest potty. It's just irritating, and it's just a privilege to have a toilet in your home. We don't have that privilege anymore, so it's annoying to me, but ideal. What's your biggest struggle?
I'd say the biggest struggle we had, I think we both can agree on it, that outside of just, basic everyday life, is missing out on things with friends or family. I mean, obviously that
we're not missing out on much now.
Yeah, we're not, but it's obviously traveling outweighs that majority of the time, but there are times that obviously you miss that piece of life. And obviously, given this, we try and make it to visit people as much as possible, but that's one of the things I think my biggest.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say that I don't miss my friends and social life. I mean, I think we're all kind of missing that right now. But Kyle's definitely the extrovert in the relationship, and he misses his buds. So, yeah. How do we get running water in the bus? This is a good one for you to explain.
We basically set up just like an RV, so you have a huge water tank. We have a 100-gallon water tank underneath the bed. You hook up 12-volt water pump that's at RV, and then you hook up the plumbing to wherever you want to go, to your faucet, to your shower, to whatever. I mean, hose. But yeah, so that's how we have running water. So
basically, for people who are like me and don't understand, there's a water tank. This is the water tank under the bed. It has a spout. The spout, it runs through a hose up to the sink faucet and trickle, trickle, trickle because of the pump that pumps it up. And then, excuse me, sir. And then, say this is the back of the bus, there's a nozzle, and you hook your hose up to a running water facility, and then the water fills your tank.
Mm-hmm.
For visual learners, that's.
And no, we've had this question. The water pressure is no different than at your house, as long as you have your system set up correctly. So our shower is just as powerful as our house is. Our sink is just as powerful as our house is. There's no issues. It's A-okay. Does Cupcake swim?
In the ocean.
Or in general.
Or in general, that's true. She doesn't like to swim, no. Do we put her in the water sometimes? Yes.
Will she bite at waves when they roll in on the beach? Yes, until she realizes they're water.
They're salty. Yeah, she's not a big swimmer because I don't think she likes getting water in her ears. But she freaking loves being in the kayak or on the paddleboard with us. So as long as she's with us, honestly, she'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
Truth. Is it scary to leave the bus?
Yes and no. I'm the more worrier, so I get scared for the materialistic thought of it. Stuff's gonna get stolen. Kaylin worries. Obviously, you can answer this. Go ahead.
I worry about the only thing that deserves being worried about. Who the F cares if somebody steals my laptop? If you take my dog, I will murder you. So yes, I worry about leaving cake in the bus and the very few circumstances where we have to do that. Typically, we will choose restaurants where we can eat outside to bring her. We will choose to sit out of the coffee shop even if it's freezing. We will if there's any way that we can bring cake, we will.
Or we try and park within sight of the restaurant, so like you could sit outside or even in a window and see it. Or we're within, we've never really been more than 10 minutes away from the bus if we leave cupcake in it.
Yeah.
That's like our.
So don't come try and steal anything from us because
we have a killer attack dog. The best worst case scenario we've been in.
Best. What do we say? Oh, the people and the places that we've.
But also the luck we've had with finding places like this to stay at during this quarantine has been.
I honestly think that this is a whole different perspective for us of best worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I don't know if anything will top this. Who comes to Key Largo before quarantine or before COVID-19 goes into effect across the U.S., finds incredible people that allow us to park on their property.
Oceanfront
Property.
Within 20 yards of oceanfront.
The most generous, wonderful, kind, amazing humans.
Take us fishing, cook us food, desserts.
Basically, we have it made here, and we don't take a single day for granted. So, this is the best case scenario for any person who lives bus or van life, to be living like this during a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah, especially during this time.
Worst case scenario was. I'm trying to go quick now.
Oh. So you're answering all of them?
No. Worst case scenario was
Nashville.
18-degree weather, man.
Frozen windows inside.
Screw that.
Brutal. Frozen pipes, everything.
We didn't have frozen.
Yeah, we did. Remember, the water wouldn't drink.
You're lying.
No, the water wouldn't drink.
Okay, go. Wait, it's my turn.
Yeah.
How do you do HR from the road?
Everything's online. I was a remote employee beforehand, so as long as I have internet connection, I am good. I've been remote for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, Jesus. Off and on, so it's, as long as I have internet connection and a plug-in to charge my laptop, I'm good. Video conferencing, that sort of stuff.
I also think it's good to know for people who don't really understand that HR is actually becoming increasingly more remote. And by remote, it doesn't mean we're in a remote location and it's he worked from home for 3 years. So HR is a pretty popular job to have, or to do from home, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, I mean,
unless you work for a small company and
right.
You have to be in the office, but for what he does.
If you work for a larger company in HR, there's a ton of people and every different team does different things within HR. It's not like you're, a lot of people have this mentality or thought that it's an old lady sitting in a stuffy office that does payroll, benefits, onboarding, exiting, everything. No, every department is broken up into different things now. So, just because I say I'm in HR doesn't mean I could do everything from the road, but I was a generalist before this, and now I work on a transitions team, which handles a lot of the documentation for employees and that sort of stuff. How long did it take to decide on a layout?
Like that.
Yeah,
it was pretty quick because we knew that we wanted to keep our Tempur-Pedic queen mattress, so we built the rest of the bus
based off that size.
Based off of that, and along the way we obviously had to make adjustments depending on when we picked out the fridge, we didn't know all of these things or what sizes they would be until we bought them. So our cabinets, all of that, we had to adjust according to the pre-made items that we installed in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Storage.
We have quite a bit of storage, believe it or not. And we kind of planned around like the things we had and knowing that things we were going to get. So, like we said earlier, everything has a spot for the most part. We did add a couple storage boxes to the roof, but for the most part, we have an abundance of storage to where we can carry, a full-size printer, a vinyl machine, like tons
Which
of
are
stuff.
things for both of our jobs. It's not
Yeah.
just
Well, I know
decide
that, yes, but we have like an excess amount of tools and extra parts and
right. So
all
like
sort
the
of stuff.
garage underneath the bus houses his tools, our camping gear, all of like the outdoorsy things. And then under the couch are all of
It's all your work stuff.
all my work stuff, and extra food storage. And then in the boxes on top of the roof, we have
More camping gear, outdoor
Yeah.
gear, parts, that sort of stuff.
yeah. We
Tools.
don't really have a lot of stuff.
Where do you keep your closet?
On the left side of the bus, back in front of the bed, and it's what, a 24.
It's like 30 inches wide by
The height of the
6.5.
bus.
Yeah, so we have a hanging bar at the top with a side that has the ability to hang long dresses and stuff for her and coats.
We keep our dirty laundry basket in there.
And then we also have, three drawers. We share one. We each have our individual one. Then we have a shoe drawer at the bottom that houses sandals and stuff like that.
We'll show you guys sometime like what the closet looks like. Is everything insured?
Mm-hmm. Yes, everything's insured. We have bus insurance. We have
Shout out to Alex Sarah at State Farm.
in Oregon if you need him. He's in Albany. Let him know we sent you. We have everything covered under him in terms of we have RV insurance for the bus because it's registered in RV. We have personal policies for all the different camera equipment and jewelry and whatever expensive stuff we're carrying. But then we also have, we have a separate policy that kind of covers everything in the bus if it was to get in a wreck.
We're all insured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does Kaylin drive the bus? Do you need a CDL?
No, I do not drive the bus.
And no, you don't need a CDL as long as it's not being used for commercial use.
Sir, can I speak?
Sure.
First of all, driving the bus isn't just like driving a big truck. It's like driving a semi. There's air brakes and there's a certain way you shift, and I don't know those things or why Kyle does those things. Yes, I could learn, but it's also very intimidating, and I just leave that for him. And I'm a great backseat driver.
Yes, she is. When will we be doing a full bus tour? Soon. Once we actually complete the bus, we'll do one.
Which, if you saw,
We'll leave it at that.
okay, we'll leave it at that. Most proud moment. Kyle wrote these, and like I think it's his shorthand. I don't understand it. Most proud moment.
That was literally the question. I think the most proud moment for me, and I think both of us, is just hitting the road finally after 2 years of planning, designing, building, selling, avoiding friends so we didn't spend money. 2 years, that was a long time to do all that. So hitting
Proudest
the road.
moment was when we lived in the bus. When we
Officially sold the
officially
house and
lived
hit
in
the
the
road.
bus.
Cool. What are our astrological signs?
Well, I know what they are. What are they, Kyle? Can you remember?
Oh, Sagittarius. And you are?
Really? I'm an Aquarius.
That's what I meant.
God.
That's what I meant, yeah. Okay.
Are we compatible? I don't know.
Are you done with your list?
Trips to, like, do we plan on making a trip to Canada, Central, South America? We've been to Canada. We went to Banff last summer before we sold the house. It was like one of our small trips that we made in the bus while we still had a house. And
We'll absolutely go back.
yeah, we will definitely go back to Banff, and I think that we want to visit like the east coast of Canada too.
Yeah, and we were planning on going to Mexico until on our way back to the west coast this year, but obviously, given everything that's going on, that will not happen. But yes,
we are going to Mexico on the bus.
Yeah.
Yes. If we could travel all the way down to South America, we would, but also Kyle still needs to keep his job, so.
How did we pay for the bus? What was the cost of the full reno? We'll give you the breakdown cost. Absolutely never, because I burned all the receipts because I didn't want to calculate them all up. So
he kept them for 2 years, and then
absolutely.
what, days before we sold the house, he just
it was a great fire starter, and it was a big stack of receipts. Our rough guesstimate of it was about $28,000 to $30,000, including the purchase of the bus. So when you think of that in the grand scheme of things, spread out over 2 years.
When the solar system alone cost $8,000, 10 grand.
So it's like, it's a lot easier to do that than it is to go drop 30 grand right away, like on an RV. And we get that question a lot. Why not an RV? Well, that's part of it. I mean, the other questions are irrelevant at this point in time. But
what? I mean, yeah, like
the build quality of an RV is just not, safety wise, isn't that great and stuff like that. So
and we got to make it our own, and it took 2 years to slowly pay and build into it. So
yeah, and we paid for it with the old greenbacks, cashola monies we earned. We're not trust funds. We don't have don't have any of that stuff.
All right. We don't need to explain ourselves. Routines we stick to. Yes, I am a routineaholic. Kyle is. You're getting a little bit better. I don't say that like you need a routine, but I do think it like gets your mind right. So we'll do like a video on our routines. That's a good one.
Yeah. How do we stay active? We both like to kayak and paddleboard, so we do that.
We ride our bikes every day.
We ride our bikes every day, even though they're e-bikes.
I ride.
I do push-ups and sit-ups and stuff that I've tried to set my goal to do. 100 of each.
I do yoga.
And she does.
We're not like huge like worker, like we don't work out every single day for an hour. Like that's just not our style. But we like to live an active lifestyle. So we're outside literally all day long, basically. And even though we work at a computer, like we're up and moving around. So I'd say it's more important to live an active lifestyle than it is to like get your 30 minutes of workout in. Anyways, how many gallons of hot water? Oh, how many gallons is our hot water heater?
Our hot water heater is tankless, so we went with a propane 12-volt unit that's meant for RVs, but it's tankless, so it doesn't store any water internally. So when you turn it on to hot, it takes probably 15 seconds, and then you start getting hot water. So 0 gallons.
0 gallons.
Yep. What do we do for an address?
Well, currently we use Carol's address.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
That's who we're staying with on the property here in Key Largo.
In seriousness, we use anyone's address. Like if we used his cousins when we were there for Christmas. We used his coworkers when we visited Austin, Texas. Otherwise,
we have a P.O. box back in Eugene,
which we use for like our taxes and our billing address and all of that. But to get mail on the road, USPS does a general delivery at specific locations. FedEx and UPS also do like their general delivery at specific locations. We've just learned that you need to go into that specific location beforehand to make sure that they allow that or do that. Don't just like get something mailed there without checking that they'll hold it first.
Yeah, we've learned the hard way.
This is a perfect one to end on.
Yeah, like 12 more.
Oh, okay, we'll save that one then.
Laundry. We do it at laundromats.
They're
right? Still a thing. They haven't gone extinct like payphones.
You still insert those quarters
all day long. Costs about $20 each time. But you know, yeah, that's literally what we do. And we do it like once every few weeks, probably.
Did we get rid of everything?
No, we have a whole bus full of shit. We need to get rid of more. So if you want some,
No,
let
we
us know.
don't. Well, we have everything that we need in the bus. And yeah, we basically got rid of all the shit that nobody needs. Bus life in winter, colder climates. Well, like we said earlier, Nashville was the worst. Even though we have a wood stove, it takes forever to heat up. Then, oh my god, they're eating us alive.
We're gonna make this quick. Yeah. So then we added a diesel heater, which is like instant heat. It's dry heat, so it's great for bus because it doesn't create mold. And that will hopefully help that. But make sure insulation, all that stuff is good when you're building your bus, and that will help you a lot.
Yeah. Do we ever get sick of each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't get sick of other people?
How could you get sick of this?
Exactly my point. Okay. Yeah, we get sick of it. Like she
Guys,
said earlier,
actually,
I'm an extrovert. She prefers her alone, quiet time. I always could be around people and talking. But
okay,
yes.
but that's regardless if you're an introvert or extrovert, I think now is the perfect time for everyone to realize that, like, if you live, work, breathe, sleep, eat, pee in 100 square feet, you're gonna get sick of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And communication is like we work on it every single day. We're not perfect at it, but I know this lifestyle has either is a make it or break it for a lot of relationships, and I think it's just really important for Kyle and I to. I mean, we both agree that if we don't communicate with each other and if we don't learn new ways to understand each other, then like we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
But we work really friggin' hard every day to figure our shit out because
it's
hashtag bus life or no life. Oh, honey. Okay.
Well.
Oh, look. Come here, Shakes. Let's say bye.
She's not coming.
Come here. Come here. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Come here.
That's all we got. Let us know if you want to, specific thoughts, ideas, opinions. We're good at those. Dancing wieners. But until next time.
Until next time. See you later.
Peace.